Friday, and it is your girl, your Fearless Girls leader, Dr. Teresa White, and it is your Fearless Fridays Nugget. So, what's up, FGs? It's good to have you on. If you're a fearless girl or a fearless guy, I am super, super glad you're on tonight. So, thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's Nugget. We're going to have a great time. Wait a minute, y'all. I look so cute. Okay. Anyway, I digress. But anyway, listen. I don't want. I want you to just take a moment. Do me a favor. Like, follow, subscribe to all of Fearless Girls different platforms. If you're on the book, you're on the gram, you're on YouTube, wherever you're catching us at, Tumblr. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, keep up, hold on. Make sure that you know everything that's going on with the Fearless Girls movement. You don't want to miss it. And yes, I said movement because Fearless Girls, it is a movement. It is a global mission that we have, our E3 mission to educate, expand, and empower. And I am excited about having you on this FG journey with me. In fact, we'll talk about that in just a second. But I am going to ask you to do me a favor. Invite your girls along for this ride. Invite your guys all along for this ride. Invite them. They need to be a part of it. As you take a moment, you like, you follow, you share. You want to make sure that you let everybody know that it's a great opportunity. Hey, thank you. I see you. Yes, that makeup is popping. Yes, yes. Thank you all so much for being on. If you could just do me a tremendous favor, tag at least 4 people. Tag at least 4 people. Share it on your timeline. It really does make a difference. And, we share so many things on our timelines. Let's share some things that are going to build people up, make them better. And the FG journey, it is absolutely going to make you better, them better, whoever you tag. So thank you all so much for being on with me. Thank you. I'm giving you all just a minute to tag some people in. Hey, Valencia, I see you. Good evening, Daphne. Thank you. Vega, what's up? KD, how are you? Hey, Pastor V, how are you, dear? Pastor Cheryl, I see you as well. Hey, good to see you on. Hey, yes, yes, yes. You all are doing a tremendous job. So I'm just asking you all to make sure that you share this with some people and let them get on as well, because we're going to have a great, great conversation tonight. So, guess what? I have a super, super special guest with me tonight. Tonight, we have the first ever man to grace the stage of Fearless Girls, my number one support and super FG fan, none other than the Right Reverend Dr. James E. White Sr. I need some applause right there. Yes, for the Right Reverend Dr. James E. White Sr. There he is.
What's up?
Yay!
What's going on? What's going
Hi,
on?
love of my absolute life.
Uh-huh.
What up, though?
Well, listen, it is good to be here with you.
Thank you for being on.
Yeah, my first time.
Yes, your
Yes.
first time being on.
Yes.
Your first time being on live, but absolutely not your first time being on. You are such an incredible support of Fearless Girls, such a number one fan of your wife. You are my trophy husband,
Oh, too kind.
but I am so excited to have you on with me tonight. So thank you so much for agreeing to be on with me tonight.
Well, as the disciple said, it is good to be here.
It is good to be here.
So it is good to be here.
It is good, yes. So, how about you share a warm welcome with the FG world and let those guys, and thank y'all so much for my applause, and let both the guys and the girls know why they should be a part of the FG world.
Well, I'll grab something that we've shared for years. Everyone wants to be a part of something great. And when you see something moving forward, changing lives, impacting destinies the way FG is doing, you can't help but want to be a part of it in whatever capacity. There are a variety of things that FG does that's, for guys as well as girls. But then there's some things that are just for girls, just for ladies, if you will. However, it doesn't minimize the male input. It doesn't minimize the male support. It doesn't minimize the male effort to make sure that it gets off the ground and it moves forward and has maximum impact. So the grassroots of it is just really, really simple. Everybody wants to be a part of something great,
Yeah.
which is the reason why we wear team jerseys. We've never played for these teams, but this team has a sense of greatness, so we get the jersey. This particular player has a sense of greatness, so we attach ourselves to that player. This company, corporation, product, whatever it is head and shoulders above others. So we want to be seen in company and like company with it. Well, FG is literally just like that. Literally just like that.
And I love that. I'm glad you said that there's some FG merch on the way. So that's good. And I'm also working not to be a slight hater, because I'm seeing all this love you getting on my timeline. Hey, Dr. James. Hey, what's up, Dad? I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around.
Now, y'all being an amazing audience, as always, because I'm a avid supporter.
You are.
So I'm always on.
You're an incredible supporter.
I see the same response every time, no matter what it is. If you ask them, the FG family, FG committee, the FG tribe to put something in the timeline, they do that. And you said, hey,
very good.
Give our first ever guy. So you put it out like that.
History.
And they responded in like fashion.
History. That was so kind.
I'd be daddy to many of them. You understand?
I love it. I love it. So listen, if you have not taken a moment to share this with some people, tag some folk, share it on your timeline. You definitely want some people to hear this conversation that we are about to have. And so last week's nugget, we talked about a look back. It was a look back, and I had some great panelists on with me talking about the FG getaways. And all I can say is that it was simply phenomenal. It was simply phenomenal. We talked about trauma not being normal. And we talked about how it's time for us to have self-care. So today's nugget is just simply entitled The FG Journey. The FG Journey. The FG Journey. And, I guess in short, I just want to have a conversation with my husband.
Okay.
I want to have a conversation with my husband, and I want to hear my husband's perspective of Fearless Girls, my husband's perspective of the Getaways. And I think it would do us well. I think it will do the audience well to hear this perspective from a guy.
Okay.
So can I ask you a several questions?
Let's have it.
Okay.
Let's lay them out.
Excellent. So, and I think I kind of said this already. You've essentially been on this journey with me the entire time. And first I want to say thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your coaching, your criticisms. Everything that makes up who we are, it helps me. And so I just appreciate that.
I would say critiques, not criticism.
Okay, critiques. But, critiques is better. Critiques is better.
Criticism put me in a different mindset.
Okay.
Criticism.
See, I was thinking constructive criticism.
That's the
That's
an inside thing. It's a family thing. If we say that in succession, our whole family know what that is.
Right.
But anyway.
So like I said, you've been on this journey with me the entire time. So I would just ask for you to give us a brief synopsis of what your perspective is about Fearless Girls in general.
Okay. So that's a lot. So I'll encapsulate it.
That's why I was saying brief, because I know it's vast.
Okay.
So so we'll make sure that Dr. James's mic is louder. Let's see.
How about that? Okay. So with it, I think I'll just go from this standpoint.
I put my good lipstick on for you.
You put your good lipstick
I
on
did.
for me?
I put my good lipstick on for you.
It's popping. but it's a distraction, so I'm going to stay focused.
Okay, go
I'm
for
going
it.
to stay focused because on Friday I generally do not have ministerial responsibilities
Indeed.
where I actually have to engage God's people.
And
So
I love your shirt that you're in love with the Dream Girls.
yes, indeed. So wait, I do have a question though. So do I have to be on my best behavior or can I act up?
It depends.
Okay, okay.
Look,
All right,
if
all
you
right.
if you act up too bad, I'll go.
Hey, this is Fearless Girls,
Oh
dog.
my goodness.
Look, slow your roll. Okay, so with it, if you can, since we're far removed from the question,
Yeah,
can
but
you state it again, please?
I will state it again. But if you all can now hear um if you all can hear Dr. James better now, can you give me a thumbs? Okay, volume is better, much better. Never mind. All right.
Okay.
So the question is, what is you've been on this journey with me the whole time.
Mhm.
What give me a brief synopsis of what your overall perspective is about Fearless Girls.
I think Fearless Girls is a powerful ministry that the Lord has birthed in the earth through you, and it's taking ladies on an amazing journey where they're able to discover and transform at the same time. One of the things God gave me years ago, it is possible but very difficult to make an adjustment while you're in a particular situation. If you have to get in faith while you're in one of the fights of your life, takes a lot more discipline to get in faith at that time. It's not impossible, just takes a bit more. Versus if you're sitting on the sideline and then you get in faith before you in the fight of your life, before things flip, before the difficulty smacks you in the face, that's different. However, you've mastered a way to take people through the most amazing life journeys of self-discovery to see who they are, where they are, why they are the way they are, what tools are necessary to make the adjustments so they can morph in real time
Wow.
into who they desire to be.
Wow.
So watching that, I'm like, this is amazing.
Praise God. That's first, that was very kind. I think I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again. Whenever I have any questions about what I'm called to do with Fearless Girls, I think I'll just go and just say pull up, Fearless Girls number 24,
Right. I got you.
of 2021. Yeah, but I think that's really good. Hi Sabrina, how are you? Hey Lavinia, how are you? Good to have you all on. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're having a discussion right now about Fearless Girls. So now, Dr. James, you know that there's an E3 mission, a global E3 mission that we have with Fearless Girls. And Fearless Girls for those of you who don't know, Fearless Girls has an E3 mission to educate, to expand, and to empower people globally. And I say people because I believe that it fits both the Fearless Girls and it fits the Fearless Guys. And with that in mind, you know the E3 mission, you know what it's all about. So can you see guys relating to this mission?
Absolutely. On both sides, from a uh, from a just a base bare ego standpoint, because we desire, as men, we desire to improve. As men, we desire to excel. As men, we desire to outdo ourselves. Surely, there's competition amongst other people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking healthy competition that I wanna outdo yesterday's James. I want tomorrow's James to have to stretch because today was so amazing. And having that where what you provide is not gender specific, it works for males as well as females. So men, that's a major value there.
Yeah.
Second, it's you're either ministering if it's not to the whole family, you're
Yeah.
ministering to our wives, you're ministering to our mothers, you're ministering to our daughters,
That's
you're
good.
ministering to our sisters. So these are people in close proximity to us. You're ministering to our baby mama, which helps us move forward in life. Let's say the relationship has deteriorated.
Yeah.
No problem. When she becomes a fearless girl, that time of ministry, the time of sitting at your feet, the time of impartation allows me to be able to navigate with her and my son, her and my daughter much better, because now she's not out to get me. Now she's not out to hurt me.
Yeah.
The trauma that I took her through, maybe I was a horrible date, maybe I was a horrible fiance, maybe I was a horrible husband, whatever the case is, she now has had real ministry that has brought true healing and closure in her life, where now my name, my face, my statement, my smell doesn't cause an issue and or aggravation in her life. Come on, ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. You hear Rollo's name. Now, I'm just making it up, Rollo. You hear Rollo, boy, and it's like, boom, your pressure just skyrocketed. You just had your pressing curl, and your hair just now, it's all fizzed out. You just heard his name. He didn't even do anything. Well, this allows us to get so much out of it, whether it's direct or indirect, whether it's indirect from a person that we're connected to, or direct us as well.
That's excellent. So the ladies, the fearless girls that are on, then essentially they should be encouraging guys to be a part as well.
Absolutely. So with it, there's every community that we're a part of. One of the things they encourage us to do is to spread it throughout our oikos, our center of influence.
Yeah.
So the people that we directly touch, because those people are the ones who can honestly judge the impact and benefit that it has in our lives.
Yeah.
So if I say that I've been excuse me, I've been a part of this Fearless Girls journey, and it's helped me with my patience. And I'm still snapping at my kids. I'm still cussing my kids out. I'm still flying off the handle. My kids know that that's a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the FG journey is malarkey. That means that my statement is malarkey. However, when I tell my kids that this has happened because of my Fearless Girls journey, this happened because of my Fearless Girl, my kids all of a sudden have a greater level of respect and appreciation for it. And they want to make sure I stay connected and send me to everything that FG has moving forward.
Right.
Don't you miss not one. I don't care what if it's at midnight, you go. If it's at 6 a.m., you go. Daddy, you go. Mama, you go. You understand what I'm saying? Because these are the people in close proximity, and they get the overflow of what's happened in our lives. Likewise, the trauma that we've undergone that we haven't had real ministry for, the difficulties in life that we hadn't had real answers for, they get the torment from it. So it's only right, it's only fitting that they're the first partakers in what God is doing in our lives through you.
Wow.
So I think we really got to look at our environment and not be selfish, and not hold it back from them, because this is really enhancing lives across the board.
Yeah.
And it is just unfair. You find a good job with great benefits, great pay, great working hours, a great culture, and you know your friends and family members are they're part of the workforce just like you are, but they're working under taskmasters, and you refuse to tell them about it, because I don't know, maybe you think they'll suck up all the jobs and they'll kick you out. I don't know, but all the same, that's just pretty doggone mean. And I think this would be right in that same category.
Wow, excellent. So let's talk about, because we gotta hurry up. We're just enjoying this. I'm having such a good time with you. So let's talk about the overall concept of the getaways.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about the getaways from a man's perspective?
Okay, so because I've been privileged, and privy to watching the exit interviews from last year's as well as this year's, listening to the statements that the ladies made, the impact that the Getaway made in their lives, the things they discovered about themselves, and this is something because it wasn't just a millennial, it wasn't just a seasoned saint, it wasn't just a 40-year-old. It's across the board. And the thing that was astounding to me, because I'm watching the videos, and it's like there's a twinkle in the ladies' eyes, and there's a depth of what they're saying, and it's far beyond just the words. I understand why I feel the way I do, and now I have control over it.
Wow.
I didn't know before why I would respond the way I did when this would happen. I didn't understand why this was a trigger. I didn't understand why that was a trigger. And then that sparkle is like, the confidence is there, the power over that situation. Yes, it was a traumatic situation. Yes, it was a tough situation. And in many cases, it was a turbulent situation. But now I'm able to triumph in spite of that situation because I have real answers. God has laid this thing out, and he has given me total victory. And the amazing thing is, it happens in a short time.
Yeah.
It's nothing but a supernatural move of God, because it's like they go in
That's good.
like Superman in the phone booth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You go in Clark Kent, but you come out bulletproof.
Right.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? You go in with bifocals on, lack of confidence, and you come out and you can defeat any enemy,
Yeah.
whether it's on Earth or from outer space, and it doesn't matter. You know, and that short period of time, it's like it is flat out amazing what it does.
That's good.
In the, you know, because again, I'm looking at the
Wow.
exit interviews. I'm looking at the body language. It's not just what they're saying, but how they are conveying it,
Yeah.
who they are walking into,
Yeah.
and what these days have done in their lives.
Well, I think you hit something that's critical, and that's why I love getting other perspectives about the getaways, because my perspective is my perspective. And so as we see the diversity of thought, because in people, even though we can believe the same principles, even though we have the same compass for the word of God, through the word of God, as Jesus lovers, one of the things that I believe is our diversity of the way we ingest information also gives us a diversity of delivery from the exit of that information.
Right.
And you just said something that was like major critical, that just really blessed me, and I think it was amazing. That just, it's like there's a supernatural thing that takes place in a short amount of time. It has to be supernatural.
Right.
Because there's no way we can have all of these things that go on in our lives, and we come out in 3 or 4 days,
right, totally different,
transformed.
Totally different. 20 plus years
That's
of trauma,
amazing.
15 years of trauma, 2 failed marriages worth of trauma, an abortion trauma, miscarriage trauma, attempted suicide trauma, low self-esteem trauma, just weight and fluctuation trauma, health issues trauma, lack of personal identity. I mean, when the list just goes on and on of the things that plague us in life.
Yeah.
And they drive up, fly, drive, jump on the train, swim, whatever they do, get there, walk through the doors, and it's like at that moment something happens.
I'm telling
They're,
you, that's
they're
amazing.
arrested by the presence of the Lord, and I think it has a great portion to do with the time that you spend in preparation, the time that you spend in prayer, the time you spend in His presence. It releases a power that is appropriate for each attendee.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, again, having the opportunity to look at the exit, and I call them interviews. I don't know that that's really the appropriate term, but there's a video that the ladies do on the last day, after the last session, and they're asked a series of questions. That's what I'm referring to. So it's not like an interview, like in a job interview,
Right.
And with it, just looking at it, and I've had the privilege of viewing all of them last year as well as this year, and just going through, checking them out. It's like, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It is, as Andrew would say, amazing.
Yes. So now that's something, because next month, July 23rd through the 27th, is the next getaway.
Wow. You got to go.
Yes.
Listen, fellas, get your coins up. Send your mama. Send your wife. Send your daughter. Send your sister.
Well, I'm glad you said that. And now I'm going to ask you another perspective, to give another perspective of it. So next month, July 23rd through the 27th, is the next getaway.
Okay.
And the focus at that getaway is healing the hurt of a woman. And hurt is an acronym for healing the head, your understanding, and your relationships, so that you can face tomorrow. So with that, what would you tell a lady if she's not sure that she should attend?
Well, you got to invest in yourself to the degree that you're healthy. That is from that degree that you can really make quality impacts and deposits and everything else. Oftentimes, and from a personal standpoint, Dr. T and I, we would have a real, it would be a real tough time, like when we would go shopping, right? not grocery shopping, but for clothes. This is years ago. James and Jasper Young. So she had no problem spending top dollar for anything for James or Jasper or me. No problem. The moment we went to the female store, I'm gonna find the men's section. That means a seat. I find the men's section, and I'm gonna sit down, and I would keep the guys with me if we all were together. If not, it would just be her and I. And it aggravated me to no end that she would come to me and she would brag about how cheap this particular item was. Ooh, I found this, and this is 70% off. Ooh, I found this, and this is 80% off. Now, I never met a dollar I didn't like, so the saving wasn't my issue. It's the fact that she beeline directly to the sale rack and refused to go anywhere else. It got to the point that, now I'm not going to say my posture was right, but I'm like, you can't go shopping no more until you get a handle on this. You can't buy nothing else. If it's on sale, you cannot buy it. You have to pay full price. Now, again, I don't think I have a grace on my life, so paying full price makes my skin crawl. However, there was something that was happening that had happened to my wife where she was fine investing top dollar for everybody else in the family. And she would go out of her way. But when it was time for her, it was the Salvation Army scratch and dent. Maybe I wear somebody else's. And I just could not understand where that came from, only to realize that is a normal trait in the typical woman in our country.
Yes.
It wasn't special for my wife. The average woman will go without as long as her sons, daughters, husband, whatever it is cared for. Her care will go by the wayside. So ladies, I'm saying you can't properly care for those other people as long as you're dying and as long as you are being, you're the sacrifice. Are you with me there?
Jesus.
So when that happens, what they get is a fragment of you because you have discounted yourself. So if you've discounted you, everything that comes from you, you got it, is discounted as well. So you need to make the investment. Let's put our finger on what caused this hurt. Let's remove it so tomorrow can be amazing.
Slow clap for you, sir. Oh my God. That was, now listen. When I tell y'all that just blessed me, first, I was feeling some kind of way. I'm like, I'm about to put my business in the street.
Well, I felt comfortable sharing it because you shared that same thing in conferences
times,
as well as in our church.
Yes.
So I didn't go into an arena
he
that
didn't violate.
Yeah,
He didn't violate. But it is true, and I love the way you just laid that out because and that's one of the reasons why we've been talking about self-care. Because that self-care piece is something that on average women don't do.
If I could say this, I'm gonna direct it to the wives first. Wives, if you are not at your best, you make your husband look bad, and this is what I mean. So let's look at a throne. So we have the king, and he's sitting on his throne, and he's regal because the queen made sure he was looking good. He's regal, he's strong, he's healthy. His skin is nice and right because he's been eating right because the queen has made sure of that, right? And right to his left, right, is the queen, and she emaciated because she's been caring for everybody else, but not herself. Now, we immediately begin to judge that king. We think he's selfish. We think he's short-sighted. We think he lacks empathy, and he's cruel. Because how could any king allow his queen to just die like that? And most of us as husbands, we don't know what to provide because when we do, you back us off and say, no, I'm fine. And the reality is you're not fine. You need to make sure you invest in yourself. You invest in yourself. No child wants to come home from school and his mom has passed out because she's given to everybody else and not given to herself. So let's go ahead on, ladies. Make the investment.
Yes, make this investment. And so there's so much more that I would love for us to share, but we are so past our typical nugget time.
Glory.
Yes.
First time I'm on, I go long.
So as we prepare to wrap up, and I'll share with you in just a moment how you can be a part of the getaway. You know what? Let me go ahead and do it now. And Dr. James, I have one last thing before we jump off. So, like I said, the next getaway is July 23rd through the 27th. It's healing the hurt of a woman, healing up the head, the understanding in your relationship so that you can face tomorrow. So, um, I was trying to decide if I wanted to share this information. I will go ahead and share this information tentatively. It's 99% sure that the next getaway is going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. It will be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and the cost is $1,000. The cost is $1,000. I'll give you some more information on that in terms of what that covers, but I'll definitely give you some information on that. It's healing the hurt of a woman. One of the things that you can do is you need to secure your spot today. Secure your spot with a $50 deposit. You can go to wearefearlessgirls.com. Actually, on the Fearless Girls Facebook page, I think there's a tab where you can click on the getaway for July 23rd through the 27th. Do your $50 deposit, or you can use Cash App. If you use Cash App, it's $ Fearless Girls, $ FearlessGirlz. And what you do is you do your $50 deposit, but make sure you add an email address in the for line so that you can receive a receipt. If you don't do your email address in the for line, you cannot receive a receipt. So that's important for you, but you definitely want to secure your spot. And then I think what I'm going to do is I may do another live here in the next couple of weeks or so, the next week or so that we can have a discussion and I can answer all your questions about the Fearless Girls Getaway. You don't want to miss healing the hurt of a woman. My recommendation is that you make it to this getaway. So I want you to do it. I want you to be in place. Make sure you do that. Now, before we go, I am going to ask you if I can count on you to make an impact that will go a long way in us helping spread the Fearless Girls E3 mission to expand, educate, and to empower. Our mission is very clear. It is a global mission, and you absolutely can be a part of that support by sowing a seed, using the Fearless Girls Cash App. That's FearlessGirlz with a $. You can go to Givelify and use Givelify for that. Should you have that set up, definitely do Givelify or Cash App, and you can even become a monthly supporter of Fearless Girls by going to our website wearefearlessgirls.com and clicking on the link where we have the monthly supporter level up support group. It's only $20 a month for that monthly support. So thank you all so much for that. Thank you for being a part of the E3 mission to expand, educate, and to empower women. Thank you so much for doing your deposit. There's a limited number of spaces for the getaway because it's designed to be intimate enough where we can make a full impact. I want you to have that supernatural breakthrough that you heard Dr. James talk about. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I know what God is doing. So thank you so much for tuning into the Nugget. Thank you for doing your deposit and being a part of the getaway, July 23rd through the 27th in Cincinnati, Ohio. It is going to be life-changing. Now listen, set yourself up because on that last day, we're going out into the city and we're going to get some sightseeing done. For those who have never seen the Creation Museum and the Ark, we're going to have a chance to visit that as well. So thank you so much. And I just want to give a special shout out to Dr. James for being on with me. He was incredible. You did an incredible job. I really appreciate you being on as my special guest tonight. It really makes a difference. So before we go, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with the Fearless Girls audience?
Make sure you stay connected. So you definitely want to stay connected. Make sure you involve those who are close to you. So as a community, you can move forward together. Oftentimes when we are introduced to something and we begin to grow, we fail to connect those who are closest to us and it has the potential to cause a little bit of friction in our relationships. To avoid that, make sure you get those who are closest to you connected, and likewise, they do the same. And like that Pharrell commercial, and they told two friends.
And they told two friends.
And they told two friends.
Yes.
So, blessings. Have an amazing one.
Yes. So thank you so much again, Dr. James. Hey, ladies, you know, as I always say, girls with dreams, they become women with vision. See you next time.